We just had the first reveal of Pokemon Generation 10, and I'm so excited and so glad that we actually do have a trailer. We do know what the game looks like. But when will we actually get that next big trailer for the game? Basically, we could just look at the history of Pokemon, look at the history of when we do get new trailers, and actually kind of pinpoint exactly when we should be getting / should be expecting the next trailer for Generation 10. Now, the first trailer is pretty big, right? We had a lot of big reveals. Obviously, it's the first reveal, so anything is realistically a big reveal in this game. But for the second trailer, we should actually see more. The second trailer for Scarlet and Violet showed us the legendaries, the box legendaries at the very end of the trailer. I believe it also showed us a couple new Pokemon. It showed us just more about the game. I think like some of the early routes. So the next trailer has a very good chance of showing us the box legendaries for the game, which would be so cool to see. We could see if they are like the ride Pokemon like they are in Scarlet and Violet. We could see if they change different forms. Maybe we could see if they're even tied to the main battle mechanic of this region. The legendary Pokemon, based on the leaks, it actually seems like they will have something to do with the weather of the game, like the weather of the region itself. Like the name of the game is Winds and Waves, and the battle evolution gimmick also seems like they're going to be weather related too. So based on all the leaks that we've had and we've been covering, we actually could kind of tell what we will be getting in the next trailer too. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of some of the past big second trailers that we've had. So Scarlet and Violet, the second trailer was in June 1st. It was 2022, and that was about 3 months after the first trailer, which was February 27th of 2022. So it was a little bit over 3 months. Sword and Shield also was about a 3-month gap. It was announced February 27th of 2019, and the second trailer was actually June 5th of 2019. So like I said, that's just a little bit over 3 months. Legends Arceus, which is a Legends game, so it's a little different, and it was kind of just a weird time we were in when that game was announced and released. That game was revealed in February 2021, and then the next big trailer was August of 2021. So that was about a 6-month gap, which is very interesting. And of course, the game later came out in early 2022 because in 2021 we had Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, so it was kind of like a weird year for Pokemon. And of course, that was a Legends game. But here's the thing, we do typically get a Pokemon Presents during the summertime, so like June, July, or August, so which of course would give us a new Generation 10 trailer, right? But they could obviously totally drop a trailer just for fun on YouTube in June. Like, it seems like maybe early June could be the next very viable option for a trailer. And then in August, or you know, whenever that big Pokemon Presents is probably going to be the next time they do a big trailer, like a big gameplay trailer. Could be, you know, 10 minutes of real full-on gameplay footage, although this game could be a little different just because of the fact that it is coming out in 2027. So the odds of it actually having a big trailer in August for Pokemon Day is kind of like 50-50 because they're still going to be working on the game all the way up until it's released, right? But either way, if we do get that next trailer, it's probably going to be around June or July. I'd be very curious to see if we don't though, and if it would just be during the Pokemon Presents, like I said, not to be repetitive, but just because the game is coming out in 2027. And if you guys don't mind subscribing to the channel, turning on the post notifications, I'm trying to reach 50,000 subscribers. Any support truly goes such a long way. I appreciate all of you guys so much. All right, let's get right back to it. Hopefully we would see a few brand new Pokemon designs in the next trailer as well. I feel like there are so many things that could actually fully show us in the next trailer, especially since we do have the starter Pokemon. So we do have 3 of the new Pokemon of the region. I think it'd be really cool to see a few new ones, maybe even some regional variants would be really interesting to see. Of course, the rival, the professor, the enemy team, you know, like Team Rocket, for example. It's not going to be the team in this game, it's going to be something else. It would be cool if we were introduced to the enemy team or just a rival character. Of course, the professor, let's talk about that. So from the leaks, it seems like he's going to look something like this, which a lot of people say he could be from Australia, just because a little bit of the Gen 10 map is actually Australia. You could see in the bottom right there, that's actually Darwin, Australia, which in real life you could see is very close to Southeast Asia as a whole. So that's really cool. I have a feeling we will not see the release date of the game only because it's not coming out in 2026. I think if it were coming out this year, we would see the release date, but I think they're still just going to say gonna release in 2027. Now, I did make a video recently about how the game might actually be released early 2027, which would be very interesting. Like, what if the game does drop February 27th of 2027? So that'd be Pokemon Day of 2027. That'll just be full circle from Generation 1 to Gen 10 because Gen 1 was released in February 27th. Although, if you're taking a look at the history of most big new generations, they typically are released in November. So that's another one of those things that's kind of like iffy. It's 50-50 whether or not it's coming out early 2027 or late 2027. We should see some of the early route Pokemon. Like, I don't think we're going to see any of the big hitter Pokemon that are like late in the game. I believe in Scarlet and Violet they showed us some of the early route Pokemon like Lechonk, Smoliv, and Palmy in the second trailer. Usually it does seem like we had about 2 to 4-ish random new Pokemon in the second trailer, which is good enough. I mean, that's great, right? This Pokedex I'm hoping is going to be about 150-ish. I know that's kind of a lot, but I feel like that'd be cool just because it's Generation 10, and I feel like they just have to go big or go home, right? Also, in the second trailer of Scarlet and Violet, they showed off Nimona and the Professor, so like I said before, we probably will see the Professor or maybe some sort of rival slash, I guess, just friend in the game. I'd also wonder if they would show off some more of the open world exploration, and as well as that, maybe even co-op, because it seems like we will have some MMO style in this game, not like a full-on MMO Pokemon game. That's for another game, you know, Pokemon Seed slash Pokemon MMO. I've talked about that a lot, you know, in other videos, but yeah, they basically are working on a real Pokemon MMO game, which is so awesome. So this game, based on the leaks, we will maybe have a little bit of MMO, so it'd be kind of cool if they did show that off, but that kind of seems like something they would probably show off in a different trailer. And you know, since this game is coming out in 2027, you know, the trailers may be a little bit few and far in between. I would say without a doubt we will get one for the next Pokemon Presents that is usually in the summertime. I would say almost 100% we will, right? But after that, when would we get another trailer? Maybe Pokemon Day again? I would absolutely love if they could show off the new battle gameplay mechanic, which, like I said, is something weather related, so I don't know if it's going to be like our Pokemon can kind of spawn in different weather patterns or something to give it an ability boost or some attack or defense boosts. I've covered the leaks on that as well. Like I said, we don't have a ton of info about that, but it definitely does seem like it will be pretty unique. I would hope it would be something unique to just a group of Pokemon rather than every single Pokemon being able to use it, like Terrestrialization. Think of Mega Evolution, you know how we only had about 60 something Mega Evolutions before Legends ZA, now we have I think like 96 or 97 total, which Game Freak, we need to get that to 100. Just give us a few more than we're at 100. I mean, just make it like an even number, you know what I'm saying? But either way, just to recap, the next trailer should be maybe June, but if not, it's definitely going to be in the summertime around the next Pokemon Presents. And I feel like the most viable things that we will see are the next legendary Pokemon, the big box legendaries. I do think we will see a couple new Pokemon as well that are like in the new Pokedex for the region, as well as that I do really think we will see maybe the region name, and I do think we will see the Professor and our rival slash friend in the game. Other than that, I feel like the maybes are probably the gameplay mechanic, of course more legendary Pokemon, other than the box legendaries, which probably not going to happen. Those will probably be DLC locked later on, which the game is leaked to have a DLC. So get ready for a DLC eventually for Gen 10. And the release date is also kind of like a 50-50 just because it's coming out next year, not this year. But this game is going to be very, very big. I would love to know your thoughts. What do you think we will see in that next trailer? When do you think it will actually be? So basically, we only have about 3 to 5 months before the next one. Sounds like a long time, but I promise time is going to fly right on by. Anyways, if you guys are real watching this far in the video, comment down below air, just the word air. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.